And every L is a lesson. So when I run into rejection, I know it's only redirection. I see the blessings right beside me. The chances of quitting are likely. I do it like I'm in my Nikes. Don't make excuses, they never excite me. Boxes, boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it, stop it. Quitting was never an option. Exhausted, exhausted. This passion is never exhausted. You cannot stop it. No, you cannot stop it.
Good morning, Knicks universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Knicks Morning Brew on this Wednesday, April 24th. Like always, I am hanging out with my compadres this morning. I got my guy Eddie Presti, and I got my guy Jiggaman Porto. And the Knicks are up 2-0. Fellas, how are we doing?
I wrote it in the tweet this morning, Eddie. Did you really think it'd be 2 days later? We still wouldn't be hype? Oh my God, I'm still hype. Okay, how you feeling, Eddie? That bottom line was perfect, bro.
Yeah,
He was on it this week.
Like I said, the most historic 27 seconds in Knicks history, as far as I'm concerned, man. That was one of the craziest things I ever watched. Again, I always watch that happen to us, whether it was Reggie Miller or, name whatever million heartbreaks that we had over the years. It's always been the other way around. I've never seen Knicks do that to somebody else, ever.
And it's funny too, heck, because think about it, bro. How many people either turned off their TV out of frustration, or you hear the stories of the people that left the garden that were walking out? Like, oh my, like you said, Eddie, that's not the stuff that we're used to seeing, like that's why I literally called it, man. Like you have to call it the Mecca miracle, man. Like the Mecca. I said it this morning on the show, heck, any team that's walking in the Mecca right now, be scared. Be scared of the Knicks. Be scared of the Rangers. Be scared. Don't walk in there. We're just handing out L's left and right. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, shout out to chat. I just want to add on when the teams that win championships, the teams that are remembered for great postseason runs, 95% of the time, their skill, it's what gets them over the hump, right? The skill of the team, the skill of the star player gets them over the hump, gets them to that championship. The 5% that's unaccounted for is the luck plays that go in their favor. It's a lot of luck plays that happen. Kawhi Leonard, when he had that shot on the Raptors that hit the rim a couple of times before going in, that's a luck play to help you get over that hump and get you to a championship. The Knicks in these first two games, those luck plays are going in our favor. Again, I'm not saying we're going to win it all and anything like that. I'm just pointing out the fact that when it comes down to it, those teams that win a championship, those teams that advance past the first round, second round, third round, go on to the next round, 95% of the times it's because of their skill. That other 5% that's unaccounted for is the luck plays that goes in their favor, and that's what you're seeing right now with the New York Knicks in the first two games of this series.
And Coach wants some of his credit too, bro.
Shout out to Tibbs, and shout out to the Coach Tibbs in the chat. Shout out to this fly ass throwback Knicks hat that I got from Mr. Throwback himself.
Shout out to everybody in the building. We just started. We got Alex Monaco of MSG Networks. He's jumping on with us at 11:30. So I'm gonna ask him, bro. Maybe he can help us fill out a little game day parlay for tomorrow. You know what I mean? Get a little advice. See what he can help us with. Chris Perez, how you doing?
I want to speak on that real quick, right? On the not just the 76ers fans, but the players. they have a loser mentality right now when it comes to the 76ers. These excuses, these things that I'm hearing in the post-game interviews from everyone, from Nick Nurse, from Joel Embiid, from Kyle Lowry, it's excuses, excuses, excuses. You lost the game. You had yes. Was there a foul on Tyrese Maxey? As a Knicks fan, I can say yes, there was a foul. But what happened to the foul when Isaiah Hartenstein got the offensive rebound when he was thrown to the ground? What happened to the foul that Jalen Brunson, when he's driving to the rim, he gets hit and he gets hit in the back of the head and he doesn't get a foul? What happened to those foul calls that weren't called for our team? That Josh Hart play with Tyrese Maxey, or that Jalen Brunson foul on Tyrese Maxey in the last 30 seconds, that's not the only reason you lost the game. You weren't able to secure a defensive rebound. You weren't able to call a timeout. Your head coach, who's won a championship, didn't run out onto the court to try to call a timeout the way that Eric Spoelstra runs out onto the court to call a timeout in a crucial situation. So yes, was there a foul in that moment? Absolutely. But that's not the only reason why you lost that game.
You see, but my thing though is they hadn't been calling that ticky-tacky foul all game. So why all of a sudden now you want them to call it? How many times were we inbounding and getting the shit beat out of us?
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah.
But it was all games. It was one of those ones. Of course, yes, it's easier when you're on the winning side. It's palatable, right, for us to sit here and be like, oh, both ways. But it's the truth, though. That entire game was handsy. The entire game was pushing and shoving. I mean, you guys saw the clip. There was so much pushing and shoving. They were pushing their own teammates. Literally. Okay. Like, and you can see how good they are at flopping that even their own teammate touches them. They're like, it's like, dude, hold on. That's your boy. What are you doing? Right. So they can bitch and complain about that flop or not, the non-foul call. It was a hustle play. Hands down. Okay. And you said it. Like, hello.
Run onto the court.
Hello.
Listen, one thing about the playoffs last year, right? We said it. Tom Thibodeau got out-coached by Eric Spoelstra. When Eric Spoelstra was trying to call timeouts in crucial situations, he's damn near at the foul line. I mean, he's damn near at the half court. He's running onto the court, getting in the referee's face. That's how your coach is supposed to call a timeout. If it was in reverse, I would have the same smoke for Tom Thibodeau that I have for Nick Nurse right now. My fault, Eddie. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying at the end of that game, they were completely unorganized. That once Dante hit that first three, Nick Nurse and the whole 76ers team didn't know what to do. And Josh Hart and Brunson just happened to stay in front of Tyrese Maxey. That's how they got the ball back. They basically were covering them like an NFL cornerback, right? So he couldn't get the ball. So they didn't know what they were doing. So that was on Philly. They couldn't get that ball in. And shout out to Josh Hart and shout out to Jalen Brunson for covering them the way they did, because that's just heads up basketball. That's just being smart. And Tyrese Maxey drops to the ground and Josh Hart snatched that shit from him.
Well, I hear you saying it, Eddie. And it's like I can almost picture it, verbatim of, oh, well, I mean, I had to, Hector. Can we just for a second?
Let's do it.
Oh, relive the porn, people. Relive the porn.
They had ample opportunities to secure the ball, and they didn't.
Right here. Now watch. Look at Josh Hart. Look at him.
I mean, he pushed off of him and everything.
Yes.
Look, right there, they could have got the rebound.
Right there,
they didn't back shot. Bingo. I'm gonna say something right now, and it may be unpopular or may be popular with some Knicks fans. In the first two games against Philadelphia, our best player on the court, it hasn't been Jalen Brunson. It hasn't been Dante. It hasn't been OG. It's been Josh freaking Hart. Josh Hart has been the best player for the New York Knicks in these first two games. Josh Hart, his hustle, his defense, the way he rebounds, the way he scores, the way he
grabs Mike and Ike's out in a press conference. Sorry,
shout out to the Mike and Ike's. The way that in both games, when the Knicks needed a bucket, when he gets the defensive rebound, He's running down the court and he's laying it up when the Knicks need to get a bucket. And that's something that throughout the season, we've been looking to see since Julius Randle's been gone, who's going to step up in those moments that Jalen Brunson is not on his game. And for the first 2 games, it's been Josh Hart. And to all you Knicks fans that was complaining about Josh Hart and his $18 million he's making this year, he's earned his paycheck these first 2 games of the postseason. We're not up 2-0. We're not up 2-0 right now without Josh Hart. We're probably down 0 games to 2 if Josh Hart's not playing the way he's playing right now. Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, look, man, I'll take a moment, and obviously I'm with you, Hector. Without Josh Hart, the Knicks are nowhere. They're down 0-2. Josh Hart's been phenomenal. I've been a guy that criticized Josh Hart and the contract, but I can't say a word anymore about that contract. He's earned every penny. But what I can say through the first 2 games is that Jalen Brunson does not look like the top 10 player that we all made him out to be. Jalen Brunson looks a little bit like Julius Randle. You know, he looks like Jalen Randle right now through these first 2 games, and he's been awful. I put up a tweet yesterday, to the Knicks fans. Are you guys concerned? I mean, he's shooting 29% from the field. He's 16-55 for the series. That's awful. I believe he's 2-12 from the 3. That's, I forget what that was, maybe 14%, something like that. He's been terrible. He's been terrible. And again, if you're going to give him the all the accolades for the MVP, you got to talk about when he's playing like crap. And Brunson's been absolute garbage. I don't know if it's that Philly just has his number, because if you look at the numbers against Philly this year, he's at 22 points a game. His numbers are lower, or it's just, right now he's just on a bad streak or whatever, or the burden is too heavy. I don't know what it is, but I think there should be some cause for concern when it comes to Jalen Brunson, because this isn't the guy I watched over the last 2 years. This is a different guy. I don't know who this guy is. And again, this can happen to anybody, right? I remember before the series started, I said I thought, Buddy Hield would have a good series. Buddy Hield's been terrible. So that just goes to show. And Buddy Hield over the last 5 years has been one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. It just goes to show you that the playoffs are a different animal. It's a different player in the playoffs.
Different time, different animal. We got over 130 people in the building right now rocking with us. If you guys can, please smack that like button. We got over 60 people on YouTube. We're sitting at 17 likes. All you folks on YouTube, smack the like button. Let's get the likes up on the stream. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Shout out to Ron and John, still Knicks fans in the chat. My guy Jeep the Best is in the building. Jay Boogie the Close is in the building. Jay Boogie, I was in the shower when you called me this morning. My apologies. Ally Wise, go ahead, Celso, because I know what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jay Boog actually called me and I missed his call. But Jay Boog, I got you, bro. Literally, I got you in about 10 seconds. Let's do this roll call. And then I want to touch on what Eddie said as well. But go ahead. Do that roll call, Heck, real quick.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, Jay Boogie is in the building. Salute, 3 capital S's. Chris Perez is in the building. My guy Jorge Herrera is in the building. Gabe is in the building. Hector Gaston is in the building. My guy Knicks will be champs in 2024 is in the building.
Wait, hold on. Go back, Heck.
What happened?
Do you realize what it says?
Knicks would be 2024 NBA champs. That's what I said.
He changed it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I pointed it out on the last show.
I'm so happy.
Shout out to DSJ. Infamous New King is in the building. I just want to piggyback on what you said about Jalen Brunson. And yes, I'm with you. If we're going to be critical on Julius Randle, if we're going to be critical on RJ Barrett when he was here, Emmanuel quickly when he was here, we got to be able to be critical on Jalen Brunson. He has 2 games so far in the first round that has not have been Jalen Brunson type of games. Now, during the regular season, Jalen Brunson will go on stretches for like 6 to 8 games, averaging close to 30 points, if not over 30 points per game. It'll kill it. But then he'll have like 2 or 3 games in a row where it's a little, not what you're used to seeing Jalen Brunson.
Not this bad.
Hopefully. No. What I'm saying is that hopefully, because he ended the season, last 8 to 10 games of the season, he was averaging 35, 36 points per game. Hopefully, this is just a downtrend, and hopefully the last minute of the game or the last 30 seconds of game 2 gives him the confidence going into game 3, because he did hit a big bucket. And in those last 30 seconds, he did hit a 3. He did hit a bucket. And the New York Knicks, we're not here talking that amazing comeback if Jalen Brunson doesn't hit that 3-point in the last 30 seconds. So again, as much as I want to be critical on Jalen Brunson, rightfully so, I still got to give him his credit for knocking down that 3 in the last 30 seconds. Go ahead, Sels.
You know how I am, Heck. You too, Eddie. Like, I always try to look at things a little differently, right? I saw it too, bro. I held back from pulling it up. What up, CP the artist? I saw you, bro.
CP, how you doing, brother?
Brooklyn Zone, I see you in there too. John, I love you holding the accountability partner. He's like, 27 likes.
That's right.
150 people.
70 people on YouTube, 150 on the stream. Go ahead, Sels.
What? You know, yes, we can sit here and we can keep going with we're winning without Jalen Brunson. That is a fact. But here's why I'm not concerned, Eddie. I'm going to choose to go a different route with my take on Jalen Brunson. Why can't we sit here and for once sit here and say the team is maybe just saying, yo, my guy, we got you. You carried our asses for months. We had a fan base that was like, man, is he going to get any rest before the playoffs? He's going to be so tired. Why can't we sit here and say that the rest of this team is saying, hey, yo, King, sit back for a minute. Recoup. Because everybody is stepping up, Eddie. So I'm not going to sit here and go on the, oh, my God, I'm worried about Jalen Brunson. Nah, Jalen Brunson is having his squad tell him that he can take a second. Breathe, bro. We got you. And at the end of the day, Heck just said it. Erase everything. We still needed that bounce and that 3-pointer to go in for us to lead to the miracle that Dante pulled off. So, no, I'm not worried. Jalen Brunson will be back, and this team is lifting him up every which way. I rest my case. Thank you. The red. Before Alex gets here, shout out to our boy, Jay Boogie. I missed your call, but I had a feeling. I was like, yo, something's coming. I checked my email. I put this together. Guys, here is Jay Boogie's new track, but check this out. It's featuring Ebony from the Nick of Time show. The track is brand new. Jay Boogie the closer featured Ebony. It's called We on Top. Check it out. Playoff vibes. How you doing?
Jay Boogie, we facing a lot of doubters.
So Ebony, First Lady of KOT, what you saying?
It's us against the world.
New York City, where you at?
We outside.
My Knicks fans, where you at? I'm looking down cause we on top. They looking up, see we on top.
On game nights, all I see is Nick traffic. For the playoffs, I'm wearing a June jacket. The best fans anywhere, we stay rocking. This my 4-point play, my Larry Johnson. The true definition of getting snubbed is when the 2 seed ain't getting no love. We know the cats from college known as teammates. Now the lead podcast and we some roommates. It's for the league, whoever wanna collide. That new commercial that told you I'm the vibe. Shout out to Mr. Rose, the plan working from the ESPN with these bars. I'm Kendrick Perkins. Every game, the squad, we just go hard. Coach Tibb, Challenger, New Dodge. 5 boroughs of breath, the Nick plan from the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Staten, and Brooklyn.
New York City, where you at?
We outside.
My Knicks fans, where you at? I'm looking down cause we on top. They looking up, see we on top.
No Diddy.
Yo, E, you crazy for that.
Yeah, Jay Boogie and Ebony, how you doing? You know we rock with Jay Boogie. You know, we don't just have the closer come and close. We rep that Jay Boogie track.
Well done. Well done.
Shout out to Willie G in the chat, George Herrera, Brooklyn owns as well. But Eddie, getting back to it, when it comes to Joel Embiid, he looked a lot healthier in game 2 than he did in game 1. Right, a hell of a lot healthier. And I know Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid were both questionable. And we was having a conversation earlier in the day on the show. Take that and throw it out the window, right? Even if they're questionable, you still got to prepare yourself like they're going to play. Don't even. Yeah, it's all.
Remember the other day, I'm like, it's fake news when the match.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But Philadelphia, the key to this is they're going to be going back home, right? New York Knicks. We were able to go up 2-0. We got to be able to at least take one game in Philadelphia We cannot come back to the Garden tied up 2-0. Eddie, I'm gonna throw it over to you. How important is it for the New York Knicks to steal one game in Philadelphia? And do you think from the first 2 games we're able to do it?
All right. Bottom line is Philadelphia is going to win tomorrow. I would pretty much guarantee that they're going to win. I know right now they're 4.5-point favorites, but I could just see the setup the way it's going. Philadelphia is going to win because they're going to, after all that shit that they're putting out in the press, they are going to get every single foul call going. Joel Embiid's going to get to the line a million times. Maxi's going to get to the line a million times. I pretty much guarantee a victory in Game 3 for Philly. And again, this is not your typical 7 seed in Philadelphia, right? We both know they literally have 2 top 15 players in the NBA on their team, and the rest of their team hasn't done anything really against us. So I would bet more than not that Philly wins Game 3, but Game 4, if the Knicks could win any game, it will be Game 4. That's the game where you could catch them sleeping a little bit. That's the game where they'll be all up and everything like that. That's going to be the close game. Will be Game 4. So logically, you got to understand, playoffs are crazy. Everybody says, well, the series doesn't start until a road team wins a game. And so as of right now, a road team has not won a game so far in this playoff. So I would think right now that Philadelphia wins tomorrow, but that Game 4, I think that's a game that we could steal from them. I hope we do, but you never know. We could come back here tied 2-2. It could happen.
So
I would love. I mean, again, I never go with the Knicks in 5, Knicks 6. That's not my job. I'm never good with that stuff, But if you're for the fan base that's going Knicks in 5, then obviously we're losing one of these, right? To me, Eddie, I think it's different. I think you win the one tomorrow, and then they save their lives one more time while they're home, right? Like that kind of story. The Knicks need to be that team that is the first road victory, right? I don't know. I would love to see us get the sweep for the pure fact that this man's calling his shot, okay? We will win the series. Like, what in your right mind? Go ahead, Heck.
No, I just want to say, because we got to put context, right? Context is key. That's why when you're in school and you write a paper, they ask you for your sources and the context. So we'll put it in. Shout out to Tibbs. Love you, coach. If you listen to the audio, yes, Joel Embiid is saying we're gonna win. We're good. We're gonna go home. The series not over. We're the better team. He is saying all the right words, but like I said, context is key, right? Context is key. What was that last thing you said, Eddie?
They're saying how like Indiana's the only road team. I wasn't talking about that. Dallas won on the road too.
Shout out to Dallas. Kyrie Irving having a phenomenal early part of the series. But anywho, like I was saying, context is key, because Joel Embiid, he did said everything right. He said all of that, right? But did you guys watch the video? He said it with his head down. I'm not sure what type of confidence you're trying to emanate out there. He's like, well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Fake confidence.
We're going to go back home. We're going to win this series. You're not saying, like you said, you're not saying it with your chest. You're not making your fans believe it. We don't believe you. Like they said, we don't believe you that you need more people. Shout out to my guy, Phil. He would have loved that bar.
Did you guys see the thing where he said that game or something was worse than the game?
Yeah, the Toronto
Toronto game. Alex from what's it called? The
Knicks Fan TV.
Alex put out a tweet about it, and he's like, if he's saying that's worse, bro, this guy's like mentally fucked up. And Alex is 100% right. Like,
it's one of those situations, Eddie, where most of the timeline now, when you see the things that they're saying, you're like, holy shit, the New York Knicks may have broken the Philadelphia 76ers. One that's not broken is Maxey. Like, I have so much respect for that kid. Like, he really is, man, like, reincarnation of Emmanuel Quigley. Yeah.
Hold on. See, yeah, first of all, that whole argument, who's better, Maxey or Quickly? Maxey is definitely the better better player out of the two of them. But see, Peter Artist right here, I was going to bring this up, but see, that MB has something wrong with his left eye. Y'all know what's wrong with his left eye? My man be on the perks while he's out there, bro. He's on those painkillers while he's out there. That's why his left eye is tweaking like that.
Bugging out every time they zoom in on him, bro.
If you look at it, no, all jokes aside, I hope Joel Embiid can stay healthy for the series. I want the Knicks to be able to beat the Philadelphia 76ers with their franchise player. But if you're watching the game, focus your attention to his right knee. Right knee, even if he has the brace on it, he's bleeding. He's bleeding through the entire game. That man is on a Perk 100, the big banana one, the one that's yellow with the 500 milligrams on it. That's the one that Joel Embiid is on when he's out there. Again, all jokes aside, hopefully Joel Embiid is healthy. Right? He's probably getting some cortisone shots. He's probably getting something in the middle of each quarter or in the middle of each timeout. Whatever it is, he's getting something. Go next game. Watch, look at his right knee. He's wearing the white sleeve on his leg. You're gonna notice the bleeding.
Does that take away your conditioning too? Like you get out of breath from being on that shit?
No. You get dehydrated as fuck. So he has to stay hydrated. So yeah, it could be dangerous if he gets dehydrated. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, he still scored what, 34 points the other night?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, look. We're stopping him in the paint. That's the key with him.
Cheesy so cakes. Yeah, because I worked 6 years as an EMT in the South Bronx. Cheesy so cakes. Okay, all right.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Okay, 6 years as an EMT in the South Bronx. That's why. Go ahead.
Can we talk about some more? Let's talk about Deuce for a little bit, man. Another game, another Deuce. Huh?
Deuce.
Shout out to Deuce, the bully. First of all, I know when we had the homies from the Knicks, Sean and Brew up here, we was having a conversation, and I brought up in the regular season we've gotten more out of Deuce McBride than IQ in the postseason, and they was like, "Oh well, yeah, you said it in the postseason." What we've seen from Deuce McBride in these postseason is better than what we've ever seen from Emmanuel Quickly in the postseason. Shout out to Deuce McBride and RJ Barrett.
Yeah, man. Deuce has been, look, man, just my lasting memory about Deuce is him just stripping the rock out of Maxi's hand and then just.
Thank you. That's where I was going to go.
That's like my memory. That's some that's some New York shit right there, man.
Right? Like it's like, oh yeah, that's right. He did play football in college. I forget. He was showing that little strong man arm there, dude.
And and it's not like Maxi is tiny compared to him. Maxi's taller than him. He's towering over Deuce McBride. Deuce like, wow, just rip that off of him. That was a good sight to see.
I'm gonna segue real quick because you mentioned Sean and Brill. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing the New York Knicks pregame report right here with Sean and Brill. So we're going to do a nice little pre-gamer, hang out with everybody. And then hopefully our guest today, will walk us through a really good, maybe a couple of options on what we should put some money on tomorrow, bro, because I suck at betting in every shape or form. I think our guest is backstage. You guys ready to bring him up? Alex, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready, my guy. Yeah, let me pull this up. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest from Madison Square Garden Network's our boy Alex Monaco. What's up, Alex?
What up, boys? Thank you for having me. Fired up. Energy's electric. You might have the best start to any show of all time, TV or internet. I was trying to Shazam it.
Appreciate
Alex,
that, Alex.
what's up, man? How you feeling, bro?
I mean, I'm feeling like 7th Avenue hasn't stopped since a sleep later. I mean, I'm ready to go. I can't believe we got to wait 2 sleeps.
I got to tell you, man, I had a guy, I do a morning show. And last week, someone in the chat said, could you imagine Celso and Alex doing a show together one time? They're like, I don't think I can handle that energy. Alex, we got to do it, bro.
Let's go, baby. I got my morning brew.
Nice.
Great.
I asked the guest. Eddie gets pissed off when I ask them. But Alex, what type of coffee do you drink? Are you a Bustelo, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks? What type of coffee do you like?
It's going to sound a little savage, but the work week, I'm straight black, baby. No cream, no sugar, all business. Okay. I got to meditate. I got to make the picks. Weekend, though, we open it up, little latte here and there, have some fun. It's got to sprinkle some cinnamon on it. How you doing?
That's what I'm talking
I'm half Italian. I'm not all the way Italian, so, cappuccino, all that. I got to go to Italy if I'm doing that right.
Yeah, my guy. Go ahead, Celso.
Well, so first question, Alex. This whole season, working with MSG, I mean, you're around the Rangers stuff, you're around the Knicks. Like, how has this season been to have two teams that are having the season that they're having and being a part of that day in and day out, bro?
It's surreal. I mean, look, I am a San Diego kid. A lot of people don't know, but I got a New York dad. I got both grandparents on my dad's side from New York, Queens and Brooklyn, respectively. And then on my mom's side, I got a grandpa from Brooklyn, and my great-grandparents are from New York. So I got a lot of New York blood despite being SoCal soft. I've watched a lot of tough seasons in New York sports throughout my millennial life here. This far and away, and I talked to the boys in the green room as well, this has got to be one of the most special seasons. I continuously ask it of New Yorkers, because you guys are the best sports fans in the world, bar none. Knicks fans probably up there with Yankee fans is 1-1. I just think it's an all-time season, boys. I think the energy is electric. This is the thing. My only pushback with national media is that I don't think they understand what's happening in New York or what has been happening all season, because most teams with the injuries that the Knicks have had, with the next man up, would have bailed 6, 7, 8 times. And this just goes to show you what the culture is. And in this 2024 NBA, where a lot of teams are, let's be honest, trying to buy stars, piece together championships, everybody's wealthy for the most part. There's not a lot of togetherness. And just, I'm from San Diego. I meditate. What can I say? The idea that you had Rick being coached by Tom and Jalen in a young Knicks jersey, and then you fast forward a couple decades, and then 3 Jay Wright coached up products that have all been slept on, passed on, and not on their first teams are the core nucleus of this team. Again, you can't teach likability. You cannot teach togetherness. And basketball, what is it? It's a game of runs. It's a game of confidence. And if you believe in your brothers, you're going to go a lot farther than the Phoenix Suns, who believe in nobody over there to throw a team under the bus.
Yeah, no. That super team model is dead and done.
It is.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Whites, yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's just so special. And for that crowd to have had that moment and have that game. And, you guys tell me, I mean, I'm hearing from my New York boys, this was a Reggie Miller-esque moment. This is
100%.
My guys are saying for 25 years, it would have went the other way.
Oh, wait.
Are you guys in lockstep with that? Are you feeling like something's in the water in a positive way?
100%. And I even said it to start off the show, Alex, like just the thought of how many people turned off that game probably out of frustration.
Oh, yeah.
How many people probably walked out the garden because they didn't want to deal with the traffic and they were already pissed off. So they're like, screw it, I'm headed to the subway. Right. And it's like, and it's that you're so used to being the team that doesn't end with it being the way it is that you didn't leave that arena feeling bad. You were like, I'm going to get home 10 minutes early. Hey, I might actually catch this one early. But you'd missed out on amazing magic. I mean, and then on top of it, Alex, you got the Rangers going on at the same time.
Oh,
but
gosh.
I'm going to throw it over to Heck because I know he had a question as well. But my other question for you, Alex, is how do you go a whole season doing what you do, making bets, and then you got Bill Pito making commercials about you suck at betting? I mean,
This is the thing. In the world of betting, first off, let me say, I've just been trying to get half my bar mitzvah money back from a long time ago. All right. And I keep it light, bet breakfast money, bet utility bill money. But Pito likes to throw some very fair shots, which it is, and you guys know, look, we're hitting these we're throwing these parlays out. In the world of betting, you bet straight. If you bet parlays, you're creating Willy Wonka tickets and you're crossing your fingers. So on the show that I do, we're not putting parlays together. That's specifically for the pregame. But yeah, no, it's fun. I was right there the other night. Instead of going McBride over 8.5 points, I went 2 plus 3s, cooked myself on 2 for 3. But look, we got to have some fun with it. But yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But we're 2 for 2 on Knicks sides in the series to start. A lot of opportunity to live bet as well. I was breaking that down on the show. Big game of swings, especially game 2.
Yeah, see, I'm in North Carolina, and betting just opened up finally last 2 weeks ago. So my phone was like, "Are you sure you want to download every single one of these apps?" Yes, FanDuel, BetMGM, every single one of them. Heck, I'm gonna throw it over to you, but real quick, Everybody in the building. We're here rocking with Alex Monaco, MSG.
Chat.
Everybody in the chat is like, it's Alex. Alex, you owe me money. On the bet.
go.
Down, DSJ. He said you owe him a coffee and a bagel. He followed you the other night.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
You know
That's fair.
Or
No,
in the chat. Go ahead, Heck.
No, but shout out to everybody in the building. Over 226 people. If you guys can't smack the like button, but no, that's why I always say, Alex, you always got to bet smart. You know, spend the money that you're going to spend at the bodega on your parlays and everything like that. But no, I just want to piggyback off of what Celso was talking about just for a little bit. I'm not sure if you was in the building for game 2. I myself was at a Knicks watch party with a bunch of Knicks fans. Shout out to the Knicks Omni fan ladies. They did an amazing watch party. The energy as a Knicks fan, I've been watching the Knicks for the past 25 years. The first memory that I have as a Knicks fan was holiday time around Thanksgiving, 98, 99, going to my cousin's house and watching my Knicks versus Kings in the middle of November on my older cousins, older uncles. And that's the earliest memory I have as a Knicks fan. And at game 2, I was able to share that with my older cousin who showed up to the event. Shout out to my cousin Atiba. He showed up and he was my older cousin that introduced me to the Knicks. And to be able to experience that moment with him, it was special. And for Knicks fans out there that are young Knicks fans that are growing up, enjoy the team that we are watching right now. Because when I was in high school, I wasn't able to enjoy the late 90 Knicks, the Patrick Ewing Knicks. I grew up with the Jerome James, with the Mike Sweetney. Those are the Knicks that I grew up with, the Stephon Marbury. The team is different right now. The vibes in the city is different right now. Alex, again, just speaking on game 2, where were you at and how was the feeling in the environment you were in?
I was in. Shout out my guy, Jeff Johnson. I know you guys know him. I was sitting right next to him, my other boy, Harrison. So, yeah, I was with 2 New Yorkers. I was in the media area, which you're supposed to be obviously cordial. And you're actually, it's kind of like you're supposed to be a watcher like you're watching golf and not go ballistic. I could not help myself in the last 30 seconds. I was filming it. I was going ballistic. My voice was recovering. And then I went right in the scrum on 7th Ave going nuts. I need old school rock and roll back. I need mosh pits back. That's the closest I'm going to get is 7th Ave after a Knicks dub. It was, I mean, you're talking about strangers hugging, high-fiving. I mean, this is that moment, to your point, Heck, that was why sports is what sports is. That it brings community together, it brings people together in a very hostile 2024 and a lot of non-sports topics. You could put everything aside, go to the Garden, all root for orange and blue skies. And it was just one of those moments where I think everyone who maybe had felt, to your point, growing up with past Knicks teams that may have not always come out on top in those types of games, it changed belief systems in real time in that arena. And then you listen to my guys, Wally and Han, break it down. I mean, this is why I love the Garden. Wally said at game 1, everyone in there contributed to the win. And that's why what you guys do is so special. What all of these other Knicks mediums do is so special. You're adding value to the community. You see it on the Roommates pod. They know what Knicks Twitter's all about. There's no community like this in any other team in the NBA. It's not even close. There is no close second. So I just think it was a beautiful moment that I do truly believe changed some, very rightfully so, Knicks fans that can be stubborn about, is this really a turning of the tide? I think now we can all say that was one of those moments that, yes, maybe it is positive only moving forward.
100%.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Now, I'm not a gambling guy per se. I don't want to start because I know if I do start,
you shouldn't start. You should not start. You're sleeping a lot better now.
Down a very dark path, and I'm probably going to be broke and living out in the streets. But Alex, if you had a bet for me for tomorrow night's game, give me your lock. Give me what you would pick, what you would be an absolute closest thing to a lock, Alex.
I love Alex. I love how he segued into it. Was now, Grant, I'm going to listen to you and be down by the river. You know, he's like, I'm going to be dead and broken. He's like, but hey, what's the best bet? Go ahead.
Mind you, Alex. Whenever I bring up betting to him, he's like, "Oh, Hector, you're degenerate. You're going to be in Atlantic City, living off the side of the road in a few weeks." Go ahead,
I'm like the guy that's sitting in on the casino at 2:00 in the afternoon on a fucking Saturday, Hector. Right? So
it's the slot machines, it's the penny slot machines, all right?
Yeah, I'm just
listen, if we get this, if we get this wrong, I might have to pick you boys up for Uber for game 5 if that's what it is. You know, we gotta get this right. But no, I mean, looking at Brunson, and Nurse has done an unbelievable job throwing bodies and throwing size at him in game 1 and game 2, but he hasn't gone all year, boys. Under 10 field goals made, attempting over 25 field goals. You see it right here, 8 for 26, 8 for 29. Still gave you 22 and 24. His ability to still put the ball in the basket if his shot isn't falling. And again, he was getting Brunson looks. They just weren't dropping. I don't, as a shooter, just like Dante game 1 to game 2, I don't see that continuing. Also, his assists have been up quite a bit last 10 games of the season, as much as the scoring has. 36.5 points plus assists over for Brunson. I feel pretty comfortable about it. Now, you guys tell me, in that Philly crowd, this is a big factor. Mm-hmm. With the Nova success that the boys have had over there, what's the split in the crowd, Knicks to Sixers fans? Are there going to be at least 25% Knicks fans in there? Because that factors in a little bit here, because I feel like these Nova boys rally off of hostile environments sometimes. But is this going to be like a hybrid homecoming because of the Nova effect?
I'll say it real quick, and I'll throw it over to the fellas. I think it's going to be close to 50%, honestly. As close to 50% as possible. Just because of all the Knicks fans that I've talked to. Granted, I haven't taken a survey of every Knicks fan in the city or every Knicks fan out there, but there's a lot of Knicks fans that are seeing the price for the game. The cheapest ticket over there in Philadelphia, it's $135 last time I checked. When you look at the Garden, the cheapest ticket in the Garden is like close to $300. So this money that you would spend on a ticket to go to the Garden, you could spend on taking a train to Philadelphia, watching the game in Philadelphia, and you still have at least $100 in your pocket. So as a Knicks fan, I myself, it's my anniversary with my girlfriend. We're planning on maybe going down to Philadelphia to go watch a game instead of buying a ticket for the Garden. So I think it may be closer to 50%. I don't think it's going to be 50%, but it's going to get as close to 50% as possible. Me personally.
I love it.
I mean, I'm very involved in Knicks Twitter, and all these guys are already talking about renting a party bus. They're renting for tomorrow night's game. They're renting a party bus, and they're all going down there.
That's sold out all the tickets.
It's going to be a nightmare because by the time they get there, they're going to be so fucked up. They're probably going to end up in handcuffs. That's a story for another day. But I'll shout out to Tony on Twitter for doing that.
Look, Kent right here in the chat. Kent say he's going to the game in Philly. There you go. Somebody in the chat.
Well, yeah, I mean, just to put a button on that bet, though, Brunson, this is what great players do. It's almost a metaphor to baseball. If you're having a tough time, you're hitting balls hard, but they're lining out. Sort of like Brunson. He's getting his looks. They're not falling. Mm-hmm. You find creative ways to get on base. Work a walk, drop a bunt. Brunson's going to find ways to get to the free throw line. He's going to find ways to get other guys involved. And you look at his assists in the regular season against the Sixers, 12, 8, and 9, including the double-dub there. That's, to me, if he doesn't get quite close to 30 points, that's why I like points plus assists. I think, 8 assist evening, something of that ilk. I mean, 6 and 7 the first 2 games. I'm comfortable with him clearing 37. I mean, again, it's hard to realize he was so stifled in game 1 and game 2. He could not be denied the last 7 games. I mean, he had 3 40-plus point outings, a couple of 35-plus points. He didn't go under 30 the last 7 games of the season. It's hard to think he's going to be slowed down again. I just think Philly's either going to lie down or they're gonna rise the occasion. I call Joel Embiid the BFG, the big friendly giant. I mean, the dude's body language, he wasn't even looking at reporters in the locker room.
Thank you.
You're telling me you're confident and going to lead men to beat the Knicks and you're looking down? That's not how it works. At least in the movie 300, that ain't how it works. Rally enthusiasm looking at the ground. I think the Sixers are cooked. I think they're hanging on to a prayer here. I mean, can you even file a grievance in the city of Philadelphia with the league? Is that allowed? I feel like that's a very California thing to do. Makes them look a little soft, in my opinion. And I like Philly. It's a terrible look.
Alex,
it's very Silicon Valley. Go ahead,
I got a two-parter for you.
Yeah.
Is it hard, when you're placing your bets and stuff? Like right now, we're talking Jalen Brunson. Is it hard to not bet with your heart? Like right now in this moment, like if I'm sitting here as a guy who's betting, I'm like, man, Jalen hasn't gotten it together. I'd be scared to put a little sprinkle on Brunson, but my heart's like, you can't hold JB down again, right? So
I know.
How much of that plays into it?
Yeah, the series, it's a great question. The series are very hard to bet because it's all about timing, and you kind of got, I call it the Men in Black thing, or 10-second Tom from 51st State. You got to just almost put in the can what happened. And then sometimes, not always, Capitals couldn't do it with their desperation last night in the Rangers game, but you lose, you come back as the more desperate team. I mean, look at the game twos last night in the NBA. The Pacers went on the road, caught a dub. The Mavs on the road caught a dub. So sometimes the more desperate teams comes out. That's why in this kind of a game, Philly has to win. They're going to empty the tank, empty the clip, however you want to spin it. So I would look at props at a game like this. And sometimes you guys know this, when it's your favorite team, sometimes you don't want to bet on your favorite team. You just want to root as a fan. Right. So, this is a game 3 where I might sit back and live bet. Again, I've taken the Knicks at a much better line in both of these games live than we got laying points. I mean, this is the world I live in. 4.5 is the closing line in game 1. Maxey throws a Hail Mary, and if he wanted to throw that ball up a second before, it would have backdoor covered because it closed at 4.5 and it was a 7-point win. Mm-hmm. So Vegas is so close with these numbers sometimes. You're seeing it right now. Knicks are getting 4.5. If I was betting aside, I'm taking the Knicks with the points. It's a tough draw, though, at the moment, up 2-0. This is where I look to props. Buying low, like Dante. Dante goes under 10 points. You go look it up. The last 6-7 times he goes under single-digit points. He comes back and clears 15. That was his number in game 2. That was my best bet, and he cashed. So it's going to be interesting on this game in particular. I'm going to look to a star like Brunson to show up and show out.
All right, and then here's part 2, and then I'll throw it over to Hector.
Mm-hmm.
Who's been your biggest money-making Nick for you this season, bro? I got to know. Like, who's the guy who's been, like, the solid money getter for you?
Honestly, it's the dude that just became a father of twins. I mean, Hart has been – look, I've hit on him triple-double a couple times. I call it the Ice Cube triple-double. The payouts have been phenomenal. It's one of those dudes that I just think Vegas didn't keep up with as far as the market. You were still getting plus money a lot of those games in the double-double category. I mean, I remember putting a Patrick Ewing 33 and making over a rack on one of his triple-double nights. They just didn't accommodate for, a lesser roster. I mean, you remember that stretch there after the Randall and OG both out scenario. The guy didn't come out. So, I capitalized on that a little over. Hart over PRA, a little in and out double dub, Ice Cube triple dub. My play on words over here. But Josh Hart, I owe that man some Mike and Ice, to say the least.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, if you want to know, Dante DiVincenzo is a big fan of the Sour Patch Kids. I had a chance of meeting him a couple of weeks ago at an autograph signing at the Hobby Hive in New Jersey, and he was there for 3 hours, amazing with the kids. I kid you not. 5 bags of Sour Patch watermelon, just throwing them joints back. Like
no way.
Vitamins in the morning. I swear to God, he killed it. And they asked him, there was a lot of the kids asked him, is that your favorite candy? He's like, yeah, this is literally my favorite candy.
Oh, wow. We're in lockstep. You see I don't know if my sign's up here. DiVincenzo eats for free. I mean, come on. Guys should not be paying for a sandwich for at least a month in this city or pick a borough, any borough.
Like every borough should have a DiVincenzo sandwich. Like, let's be real.
Come on. You guys remember the Larry David Curb episode where he's trying to get a sandwich?
Move
him over and put in DiVincenzo.
My mother would love that reference. Yeah, my mom, she loves Curb Your Enthusiasm. But now I want to ask you, because Eddie brought up the Knicks fans getting the party bus going from New York City to Philadelphia. I want to ask you, this is the real bet. Over and under, do they get pulled over before Somerset or after Somerset, New Jersey? Where are they getting pulled over at?
They'll be fine because they're not driving. If they were driving, they wouldn't even make it out of New York.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yo,
they're not even getting past the tunnel.
Who's running tickets for that party bus? If I wrap my show in pregame in time, I might have to hop on with the boys and cruise out to Philly. I survived a Philly playoff game in a Padres jersey, so if I could do that, I feel like I could go with the Knicks faithful out there. But yeah, no, it's not fun to go in enemy territory without a ton of support. But yeah, no, I would say probably plus money that they do not get pulled over. But look, I'm saying the vibes are so immaculate. I'm going to say they don't get pulled over and cash that ticket. You know, I feel like the cops will know that's a Knicks bus. Let them go. Vibes are hot.
There you go.
Yeah, and not a single one of them is going to remember the game anyways, Eddie. So it doesn't matter. All right, one more before we let Alex get out of here. Because, again, going back to betting a little bit here, I started thinking about it when I was making the graphics. I'm like, man, it's going to be hard when you've got two stud centers who are just taking turns showing up at games and like, you know what, dude, I'm going to handle the load today. You take it easy.
Yeah.
Where you at? Where are we putting money when it comes to these two guys, bro?
It's a great question. I mean, iHeart just where does that rebound rank in the history of rebounds? I mean, forget just Knicks rebounds. Is that not one of the biggest offensive rebounds of all time?
Fantastic.
He jumped through 3 adult men, ripped the ball out. I mean, again, everyone's talking about the shot. Doesn't happen if Hardenstein doesn't get it done. I mean, it was a phenomenal moment. But 14-8, I'm looking out for iHeart. Mitch, look, from an offensive perspective, I'm more comfortable back in iHeart. I think, you know, from a rebound perspective, it's tough. He's over under right now, 7.5. I think he could clear it. I mean, Mitch gave you 8 and 12 game 1, 1 and 4 game 2. This is the tough thing. This is the Tibbs rotation. I don't exactly want to sit here and co-sign on a big prop when I don't know what the rotation's going to be as far as in-game, middle of the game minutes. I feel like Tibbs is going to go with the hot hand in that moment. You could see a little bit of OG covering Embiid as well. I'd lean iHeart. If I'm picking one of these dudes to score or board, I'm going to go with iHeart. And at points plus boards right now, he's around 15.5. I think it's a comfortable number. But again, it's all about his minutes, right? If he's under, you know, that 28, 26 minute mark, which he played 17 minutes in game 1, he played 30 in game 2. So, and you see the difference in production, 6 points in game 1, 14 in game 2. If he gets the minutes, he's going to cash the over. If he doesn't, it'll be close, but boards is probably the safer play over 7.5 rebounds.
What's Bogey's over under?
For points?
Yes.
He is at right now. He's not on the board at the moment. Sometimes day before they don't put everybody up. Let me see if he's under 3.
The Knicks and Coach Tibbs probably got to be a really hard team to sit there and bet on at times, man. Between minutes and injuries, I mean, this season it's been crazy.
You want to find those spots like McBride going ballistic game 1. Not that it's not going to happen game 2. I made that rookie mistake. Again, he hits 21 and 5 threes. That's above his pay grade, so he's going to come back down to earth. He goes over. Vegas was right on at 8.5 points, but he goes over for 3. I picked threes, should have picked points. Point being is you just almost got to find – we know these guys backwards and forwards, of course, all 4 of us here talking, so it's a little easier than just blindly guessing. But the timing would be typically for people out there trying to get better with it, buying low and picking those spots where players have bad games. Like Kawhi, I mean, he hit a 3-pointer in 9 of his last 10 games coming in. He goes 7 for 17 last night, 15 points. Watch him clear his number in game 3 on the road, but no one will want to touch it because he didn't have his legs while he was out for, over a month. So those kind of moments, which it makes it very difficult. As you can see, I don't look very well rested over here, but yeah, it's all timing, such is life.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Heck.
No, I was just gonna say when it comes to Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein, being able to have two centers that could tag team like that. If you guys are wrestling nerds out there like myself, I like to joke around and call them Farouk and Bradshaw. That's the APA out there, but the KPA, the Knicks Protective Agency, when it comes to iHeart and Mitchell Robinson. Listen, Mitchell Robinson had a phenomenal game one. But to see iHeart bounce back in game two, had a phenomenal game two, and you just said it, Alex. If it wasn't for that rebound, that Dante shot does not happen. Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson, it is a great problem to have when you have two centers that could be starters on like 15 to 20 teams in the league right now. Not that many teams, they have that situation like the New York Knicks have. And when you have Joel Embiid, and at any moment, you can either have Mitchell Robinson or Isaiah Hartenstein with more energy and more rest time than Joel Embiid, because one of them will be on the bench while the other guy's out there with Joel Embiid. It's the perfect matchup to have, honestly.
It really is. And a quick tip my fro to Hartenstein, the dude's passing has gotten better by the year. And I have the luxury of getting to go to shoot around sometimes. He's out there almost always first. It's Brunson, it's Dante. It used to be Fournier. Back when he was on the squad, he'd be out there in warm-ups getting up shots. But it's iHeart out there. His pops sit in front row, dapping each other up. They got him and Brunson got that fun because, Brunson's got the ongoing joke. He doesn't have hops, even though he does. And iHeart will lift them up. They'll dunk. They'll dap each other up. And it's just great, though. But 4 dimes here in 4 of the last 5 games or more, 6 times in 2 of these games. He's passing the ball tremendously. His spacing. He doesn't get enough credit for his basketball IQ. And to your point, both of our bigs have very high IQs. And if we haven't even seen OG really cook yet, you can make a case. Right. OG's going against his old coach. I mean, there's a lot of potential chess matches. Yeah, Lowry knowing OG's game as well. There's a lot of stuff that's difficult in this really boxing match of a series in round 1 that we're going to watch the Knicks players not have to battle up against in the next round. This is one of their biggest challenges, and it just goes to show you that that game could have went either way. Both of them could have went either way, and the Knicks came out on top. And that just shows you their mental fortitude in addition to their skill set.
Yeah, Max. And I love that you brought up the passing, because I feel like iHeart's probably one of those guys. What is that? What was it called? Hey, dude, where they take those weird shots and they do all the trick shots and all that. I feel like iHeart's one of those. Like he sits, he's like, oh, I'm totally going to pull that pass off. Right. Like he's always like trying little angles and little spins on it. Like, I think it's great, bro.
He is sitting at 2.5 assists. He's cleared that in 5 straight. I mean,
whoa!
I have to co-sign on 3 dimes from our guy.
I think
Alex, if you had to put your money on it, what game does this series end? 5, 6? Where you going with it, Alex?
I think it's Knicks in 5. I think it's a split in Philly. I think it's a wrap it up in MSG. And I tweeted this. I wholeheartedly believe it. I think the process is over. It's over. The Knicks end the Joel Embiid process officially. This dude is going to be so debilitated from this wrapped up in 5 by the Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
No one in Philly thinks that this is going the Knicks' way. Are they out of their gourd? I mean, I am beside myself. But honestly, you guys tell me. I feel like the Knicks play better when they're doubted, when they're slept on. I don't want everyone jumping ship and jocking the Knicks. I like them being doubted. I really do. You guys agree with that, or do you like that they're starting to get a little bit of street cred?
I'm right there with you. I've been saying it for the longest. Keep that same energy. Keep talking the same nonsense you've been talking about this team. Or when you look at it, Julius Randle is not on the team right now because of the injury. Outside of Julius Randle, every other player that's a part of this 8 to 9 man rotation, the highest they've been selected in the draft was Dante at the 16th.
Dante. We said that the other day. I mean, honestly, and you look at what Philly, a bunch of first round picks, couple of lottery picks in the starting 5. It's not even close. It's not even close.
The only picks that the Knicks have, or the only players that the Knicks drafted and still have to this day, are Mitchell Robinson and Deuce McBride, 2 players that was taken in the second round. Second round.
It's a beautiful thing. To be honest, this Knicks team it's important for the entire NBA. Because again, I don't want to see a bunch of skinny jean stars with no dog and no chemistry that don't like each other, that are paid, whether they win or lose, show up in the playoffs. Adam Silver's NBA is a B- regular season product. I'll tell you where it's an A. at the Garden. Why? Because they show up and show out for every game. It's not a lot of teams. It's not a lot of units. This club is that. And I love what Josh Hart said about having Tibbs back. The league, how many years in a row? Tibbs is the least wanted to be coached for by the players.
Like the
3 years in a row?
Yeah.
I mean, ridiculous. I mean, that is just, again, more momentum to the old school way. And this is my thing. I speak in metaphors. Everyone tries to be Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the NFL. You don't have Patrick Mahomes. Everyone trying to be the Splash Brothers, spread the floor, small ball warriors. You don't have the Splash Brothers. So here is a Knicks team playing their style, playing their way, making you accommodate their style of play, and that is basketball. It's a game of confidence. It's a game of runs, but ultimately it's mental chess. I'm going to be hard-pressed to see any of these teams in the East come up against this 12-round fight. Let me just throw this to you guys. Last thing, I've been sitting on this lily pad all year because I'm anti-Celtics. Anyone but Boston. I hate the Celtics.
Facts.
Again, Southern California kid. I despise Boston sports. I'm sorry. This Celtics team with Joe Mazzulla as head coach, he's a 35-year-old man. Who's the youngest coach in the NBA to win a ring? And what team, what year?
Oh, that's a Snapple fact. I don't have.
It's a great trivia question. No one in the office has got it, by the way, to make you guys feel better. No one's got it.
I don't feel that bad about myself.
And I don't ever want to be that guy that like looks it up when we have guests on. So I'm keeping my hands right.
Pat Riley, 37 years old, 1981 Lakers. I'm sorry. A couple of things. Joe Mazzulla's 35.
You're not Pat.
Is Magic Johnson on this team? No. Jason Tatum, an introvert trying to be an extrovert. We'll see if he can really do this because, again, you saw them up 2-1 in the driver's seat against the Warriors in the finals. They did not make the mid-series adjustments. This is where I'm at with Mazzulla. You have had no adversity all season. What happens when it's 1-1, 2-1, middle of a game, you're down? It's on you to make the adjustments. It's on you to lead men. I will bet against that until I'm proven otherwise. No one seems to think this is a factor. I'm sorry. What happened when Andy Reid in his 60s knew about the overtime rules in the biggest game of the world, the Super Bowl, and the dude in his 40s, Shanahan, had no idea, according to Juszczyk, the fullback?
Yep.
That's the difference between a guy in his 60s and a guy in his 40s. That's the difference between Tibbs and Mazzulla. In my opinion, Tibbs is in on the details. I think we get the better coach in that series. Give me the Knicks over the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Not to get ahead of myself.
Alex
is on the head.
I'm telling you, a 35-year-old man ain't winning it, and it ain't happening this year. I'm sorry. It's got to be something that no one at 35 has ever done this. It's got to be something.
You got Great Britain in the chat said he's buying you a beer anywhere he sees you. New York Knicks insufferable said, "Oh, we bashing Boston? Call me Elmo because I'm tickled."
I was just gonna say when you look at the last time the Knicks played the Boston Celtics and when we beat them, the post game, that goes to show you the difference between our head coach and Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau would have never said anything like that to bash the other team,
another great point,
coach, or bash the other players. That goes to show you the difference between an NBA coach that has been in this for years and a young coach that's trying to make a name in himself. Credit to Mazzulla, credit to that head coach for being where he's at right now. He's just a year older than me. But at the same time, there's a difference. You got to carry yourself with a certain class. And I'm with you, Alex. Like, I have the same feeling when it comes to Boston sports, especially the Boston Celtics. You know, their mascot, I've been calling it out. They have a horrible depiction of an Irish immigrant as their mascot. I think it's disgusting. The NBA should look into that and change that, honestly.
100%. 100%.
Yo,
are you guys getting down with the mascot? This dude popping out on 7th Ave, game 1 and game 2.
I love it. I love the mascot. I don't know what his name is. I don't know if it's Skippy, Bippy, whatever it is. I love that guy. Shout out to him. The Knicks need to, and that's the thing. They showed him on their social media. The Knicks, whoever's running their social media, shout out to them or whatever. They keep their ears to the street. They have somebody who's going around interviewing fans. He blew up on Instagram, and the Knicks fans, they notice that, and they know that the fans, that's what the fans want, and the Knicks are leaning into that, and they're leaning into that fan base, and that's another thing that separates the Knicks from every other sport franchise that is out there, not just in the NBA.
I'm gonna say
absolutely.
This,
I love it. I'm fired up.
quick.
I'm ready to run through a wall right now. I don't even know how we got to sit here and go about our day. I need ball right now. I need to go play some pickup in the city.
After the fire take you just gave, I'm ready to go hang out with you guys in the chat and go drink that beer right now, bro. Are you kidding me? Also, Hector and Eddie, I'm telling you guys right now, we need to turn that little line that Alex had into a t-shirt. NBA product, a B-. The Garden, the Knicks, an A+. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Like, Alex,
we'll get the royalty paperwork to you, Alex.
Yeah.
So
Hey, there you go. There you go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Alex, man, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, boys, so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for the love. Phenomenal show. Keep it going. And hey, you want to have me on next series? You already know I'm down.
Yeah, we're live.
Cheers from Manhattan, baby.
Appreciate you, Alex.
Appreciate you, Alex.
Appreciate you.
That's my guy.
Yo, that was great.
That was a great one. That was a great conversation. I ain't gonna lie.
Alex is one of those guests. I just realized he's one of those ones you're like, dude, you want to hang out every Wednesday? You free?
Boy, I was about to say, I'd never thought that I would be able to meet another human being that matches your type of energy. But that man, he matches your energy, Sos.
Show with me. I'm telling you, someone literally said the other day, they're like, yo, you and Alex doing a show together? I don't think I can handle that. I was like, well, was that nice? We got over 300 people rocking with us. Appreciate everybody that's been with us so far this morning. Smack the like, hit the sub. If you're not over here on YouTube, just take a second, come over here and hit the button because YouTube tells us to. Go ahead.
I want to address something real quick, and I'll throw it over to Eddie too. I like seeing all these videos from Knicks fans in the streets. I love it. I love seeing the energy that is out there. There's one thing that just pisses me off. And Phil was talking about it after game one. For the fans that shout out to my guy Aaron Rodgers in the building, AR's in the building, my guy. Shout out to Crackle Nuts is in the building. My guy Crackle Nuts, E. Gibson, John Petey, JJ. Salute to you guys. One thing I want to talk about. Phil talked about it on the last show, right? What happened?
I love you because you were like dead smack in the middle of your take, and I messed you up by putting a comment. Like,
yeah, I got you know how to set me up properly, right? So right back to it, right? There's one thing that ticked me off, and Phil talked about it when he was on the show last time. The Knicks fans that are out there chanting "fuck Embiid," fuck Trae Young, burning the jerseys. Don't be those fans. Personally, me, I'm not going to be those fans. We all know that those are the young kids that jump on the LIRR. They come from Long Island into the city. They're not with their parents. They don't know how to act. We get it.
Why don't you take it easy and just say they're white kids, Hector? Racist. How dare you?
I was gonna say it's a bunch of broccoli-headed Zoomers named Darren and Mason and shit like that. That's what I was gonna say. Running around with that Edgar ass haircut that they have. But no, honestly, don't be that type of fan, because those are the fans that they get put onto the media. Those are the fans that they get spotlight. Those fans don't represent us. They're not the representation of the Knicks fan base. The Knicks fan base are the guys that are in front of the Garden chanting "Let's go Knicks." All that extra stuff for the gram and for the clicks and for the views, don't do that. Or if you're going to do that, just be a little better if you're doing that. And again, these are all Eddie's cousins from Long Island. The Derek, the Masons.
I don't have any cousins or any sort of.
All right, the Wyndham, the Jakes, the Trevors, the Chads, the Brads, the Tads.
But anyway, I have no problem with the fuck Embiid chants because fuck them. Because fuck Embiid, right? I have no problem with the fuck Trae Young things because fuck Trae Young. Because fuck them. What do we care? If these guys, to me, it's more of a generational thing. I think if you're saying fuck Trae Young, I know you weren't a 90s Knicks fan. I know that right off the rip. Because why are you even thinking about Trae Young? It's sort of like when I used to go to Met games, and after the Mets would win, they'd be like, "Fuck the Yankees," and I'd think to myself, "Why are they saying fuck the Yankees?" like to me, it's just stupidity. Well, but to be honest, Hector, I love that shit. I love when they're saying "fuck Embiid." Fuck, I love it. I love it because, bro, they fucking mean it. They really mean it.
So here's my thing, Eddie.
I'm on board with the fuck Trae Young.
I'm okay with the
That's why.
I'm okay with the Embiid, okay? Because we're currently playing them. I love that. You know, anybody, but I personally I cannot understand the Trae Young anymore.
Because it's from a couple of years ago. Because he got us. He told us,
I don't care.
He did the foul shit in the garden.
And the burning of the jersey. Like, listen, you want to spend money and burn it, you go right ahead. You know what? The Jets do it at the tailgates every home game. They burn the jersey of the opposing quarterback every game, right? We do every game. You know, granted, we don't win, but whatever.
That is some dumb. I'm sorry. That's some dumb shit. I'm sorry.
It is maybe dumb.
I feel like the old guy looking out the window screaming at the kids playing football in the street. That's what I feel like right now. Get out the street, kids. You know, honestly.
I mean, they're paying money and they're burning the fucking jerseys. It's kind of hilarious in a way. I mean, seriously. I mean, you know, they're burning. I love this shit, man. I saw fucking Tony go, fucking Philadelphia. Tony went fucking nuts. I'm sorry. I'm with those videos.
No,
okay. I'm with it.
All right. Let me
wait. Hold on. Heck,
let me
open
backtrack.
Panel. You want to do one?
Yeah, let's throw the link out for the open panel. Let's rock out.
You know what, guys? We want to talk a little bit about
12:45.
Yeah, let's do it. We dropped the link. You want to come hang out? Jump up. Go ahead, Hector.
Aaron Rodgers said, "Hector, you got PTSD of Yankee fans saying F Altuve and from him killing us." Absolutely. So let me backtrack. Let me backtrack. I can live with the F Philadelphia, F Embiid. It's the F Trae Young. What does Trae Young have? What does he have to do with the first round of the playoffs right now? Trae Young,
I totally get it because he fucking embarrassed us. He embarrassed us, and he did that. So to the newer fans, he's the modern day Reggie Miller. He fucking went on the center court after he fucking iced us, and he bowed to the fucking MSG crowd, and he told us, "Fuck you." That's where it's coming from because Knicks fans don't forget. We don't forget what happened. He embarrassed us, and that's still in our head. So I
get that. But I still feel the same way about those young broccoli-headed Zoomers that come from Long Island. That's not going to change.
I understand you're a total racist. I get it. It's okay. If you don't like the
bunch of frat kids running around, fucking Derricks and Masons with their Edgar ass haircuts and shit. Go ahead,
I listen.
No, I love how we can have a show where we just nonchalantly. No, we're not talking about you being a racist. We were talking about basketball. Alex was a fire guest. Chat. I woke up late and singing my positivity fix because I was up late last night. It's all right. You can go back and watch it. Yo, Alex was dope. All right,
Alex was a great guest. If you guys can't, we got 300 people watching us. We're sitting at 87 likes on YouTube, 13 likes away from 100. So if you guys can, just smack the like button. Get us to 100 likes on the stream. Go ahead, Celcito.
Actually, hold on, because I want to pull up this Maxi. Let me pull it up right here. Actually, I can just do share screen. I'm going to share it for everybody here. And then I see people are starting to come in backstage. Again, Heck, if you'll drop the link one more time for them.
Yeah, I'll drop it. Shout out to
chat.
CP the artist. Bunch of Spencers, Tylers, and Caleb's in the streets. Absolutely.
And they all play fucking lacrosse. Lacrosse and
rugby and stuff. Get out of here. Get out of here.
I'm with them though. I'm with them on the fucking beat. I'm with them on the fuck Trae Young. I'm with them on
but honestly, they when they take the LIRR, it's like an hour into the city. They're drinking. Right, they're drinking that whole hour from Long Island,
and so is everybody from the Bronx and Queens. They're doing the same.
No, the difference is if we take the MTA and we're drinking, we get arrested. You take the LIRR, you don't get arrested.
Well, because you're allowed. They got the booze cards.
Well, no, not really. You know why? Anyway, King Hudson is in the building.
You guys want to touch on this one?
I wouldn't offensively.
He's looked like shit. He's looked like shit.
Offensively, yes. Defensively, I'm still with. He's great defensively. I'm not gonna knock OG because he is still a great defender. Maxey gets by him. Yes, Maxey gets by him. But everybody else that he's been on, he's a solid team defender. And when it comes down to it, he is a catch and shoot three-point maker. He's a shooter. He's a catch and shoot shooter. That's all he is.
I'll tell you, I watched Jaden McDaniels last night, and I'm telling you, Jaden McDaniels is a better player than OG Anunoby. He's better. He's a better version of him. Because he's taller than him.
I'm going home.
I'm not saying
I'm going home. Even though I'm in my house already, I'm going home. Fuck me. Are you serious?
I was watching Jaden McDaniels.
Oh my God.
Jaden McDaniels
is doing here? What are we doing here?
He's better.
Oh
He
God.
said, what the fuck are we doing here? There's your answer, pseudonym. Didn't say you'd enjoy it, but we gave you something. All right. Let's listen. He's holding himself accountable, right?
Yes.
He's talking about the mistakes. He's talking about, you know what I mean? Like he's
No
the only
excuses.
person on that team, exactly, without excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses.
But also, he said they got to do what they got to do to win this series. So do we make Eddie happy and start saying F Maxey?
No, well, I like Maxey.
I was about to say I like Maxey. I like him as a player. I like his drive. I like how he puts his head down and drives to the basket. Maxey is a guy that if he's on the opposing team, you can't stand him. You hate him. But if he's on your team, this is a guy that you root for. Shout out to Maxey. He's turned himself into a superstar with the Philadelphia 76ers. And you see how volatile Philadelphia has been over the past few years in the entire process situation, the Ben Simmons situation, the James Harden situation, and Maxey didn't let that deter him, or that didn't impact his development as a player, and he's been able to blossom into the all-star that we see right now, getting almost 30 points a game in the postseason. You got to shout out to Maxey. I like that young kid. I ain't got nothing bad. I don't got nothing bad to say about Maxey.
Me neither. And they got $65 million in cap space this summer. I wouldn't be surprised if they start building around Maxey and maybe throw Embiid somewhere else and build a different way. I wouldn't be surprised.
Listen. I see the logic in that, but if you're an GM or if you're an organization on the outside looking at this series, Philadelphia versus the Knicks, you see what's going on with Joel Embiid and his knee. Do you feel comfortable trading for that? Giving up all those first-round draft picks, young assets, and then you got to be locked into his contract with the years and the money. I wouldn't feel comfortable making that deal. I would have
put him on the Knicks, but maybe a different team, takes him. I mean,
cheesy Soulcase just said, Eddie, you're dead to me.
Oh, what did I say? I don't even know what I said.
All right, we got to call it. We got our friend Bobby backstage.
Bobby!
Okay. Hey,
Bobby, how you feeling, Bobby?
Well, you should have really, Hector, you shouldn't really told your friend the joke about the joke until after the draft.
Oh, you're talking about Keith McPherson? I'm sorry, Bobby. I apologize. He knew about the joke, but he knew about the joke, though.
Yes, it was a joke until after the draft.
No, but he knew about the joke, Bobby, when I was speaking to him. So he knew about it. Yeah.
Well, because it's all over social, Bobby. Jake's been clipping them and Gator. They've been putting them on social, so everybody knows about. Everybody knows about Midnight Bobby Strikes Again. We know, Bobby. Bobby, how you feeling about the Knicks after that win?
Yeah, they won. They won again. They're going to be winning in 6, I think. 6 still. 6 and remember when you say Trey Young embarrassed the Knicks fans? Well, I think he's embarrassed because of his haircut that he had when he was in the playoffs. Remember his weird-looking hair? He looked like a rooster, didn't he? Look like a rooster?
I can't argue that. That's very true.
He's balding.
Yeah, and then the Jets, they're gonna burn Wilson's jersey, Jigga. This one of these home games, I heard.
All right, I'll try to make it for that one.
Jersey burnt. With Hector, I got ex Hector something. Is he still available?
Yeah, he'll be back. Well, actually, hold on, Bobby. $5 super chat in the building. Appreciate you, Jay, for the $5 super chat. Are you insane, Eddie? Jaden has one good offensive game, and now he's better. Aren't
On
you the same
defense.
guy that was scared of Orlando who can't scope 80 points?
Yep, I stand on both points. Jaden
Thank
McDaniels
you for
will
your
be the
time
better
out.
player. And my second point is that Orlando was my third choice, so I wanted to play. If you want to go back on the Twitter spaces, I can repeat that. And I said, and the NBA playoffs are all about matchups, and they match up well. Cleveland matches up well against Orlando. The New York Knicks may not have. And let's see what happens in Orlando playing at home. And let's talk about them after they play a home game where they win a lot of their games.
Bobby, tell us what you think about tomorrow's game, buddy. How we feeling? I think.
Oh, you're muted, Bobby. Go ahead, Bobby.
Are they playing three? Are they playing three in Philadelphia?
Yep.
Okay, so they're gonna take 2 out of 3 there and win it at home. And Hector, do you know this guy named Bronx Bomber? He gets to the game.
That's my guy.
That's the
I
bomber.
know I'm on his channel. I went to his channel. He's a good guy.
BX Bomber, yeah.
Yeah, the Knicks are going all the way. I think they're gonna
Yes, they are. All the way, Bobby. All the way, Bobby.
Bobby Midnight is in the building. Appreciate you, Bobby.
Knicks all the way, baby.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Bobby's calling championship, people.
Shout
He's
out to
calling
Bobby Midnight. Shout out. Can we do a roll call real quick? We got over
Let's
303
go.
people in the building
I
right now.
know,
Let's do a
it's
little
rocking.
bit of the roll call. Shout out to my guy Crackle Nuts in the building. Crackle Nuts, how you doing? Salute to you. CT Pittman is in the building. Poseidon, right? How do you pronounce that?
Pseudonym shit.
Pseudonym
Great job,
Shapidi.
Hector.
Shout out to
Pseudonym.
Shapidi. My guy Shapidi, shout out to you. E. Gibson is in the building. Blood of the Panther, the top moderator of all the mods, is in the building. On Dios NYK, salute to you.
guy.
John Petit is in the building. Davey Hamadini is in the building. My guy Jay, thank you for the $5 super chat. We got Gabe in the building. Cheesy Showcase, who says Eddie is dead to him. NYK Insufferable is in the building. My guy JJ, even though you're a Met fan, JJ, you're still friends over here. And talking about the Mets, you got a special guest tomorrow, Eddie. Let the people know who's going to be on
tonight.
the show. Go ahead.
Hi, bro.
Tonight. Go ahead, let them know.
9 o'clock. If you are a New York Mets fan, you do not want to miss tonight's episode of the Mets Evening Brew. We have a special guest, Evan Roberts, will be joining us tonight with Al and our guy, Anthony. It is going to be lit. If you're a Mets fan, you want to show up? We got questions. We're going to ask them. So
nice.
We got a lot going on. We got a lot going on there. We still got the Yanks preview.
Brian in the chat says Eddie looks like the Celtics logo guy.
Another racist comment. They just, I just deal with this racism.
What are we doing here, people? What are we doing here? All right, let me grab the last ones from back here. All right, so we've got Yanks pregame report coming up. We got Rangers Ice Brew coming up tonight. We got Mets Evening Brew tomorrow. Again, I'll plug it one more time. Lock in with us pregame with our boys Sean and Brill. We'll be doing a nice little pregame before we all jump in to the playback tomorrow night. I believe Sean already announced did you guys hear his special guest?
Go ahead. I didn't want to say that. I was waiting for you to say it. Go ahead. Who's the special guest? Let the people
first,
know.
I just dropped the link in playback. If you guys want to come hang out in playback tomorrow with us and Sean announced it yesterday on his Twitter space. He's got Ben Stiller rocking with him in playback tomorrow night. So we are literally going to do the pregame report. We're going to talk our shit, have our fun, and then we're heading over to the playback to watch the game with our guy, Ben Stiller. So shout out to Sean and Brill. That's huge for him and what they're doing on playback.
Nice.
That's going to be a good time. On that note, I'm closing the line down.
I just want to say, shout out to all the Knicks fans that are out there, all the different Knicks content creators, Sean and Brill doing the pregame for the playoffs with us. That's going to be big. Shout out to them with what they're doing on the playback. I said this on the last show, and I'm going to say it again, and hopefully this sentiment, it starts to ring for us Knicks fans. We've never been here, right? We have a great team. We have a great organization right now. We have a great outlook when it comes to the next 5 years. when it comes to the team and the future. We got somebody backstage that just came backstage. We'll bring him up momentarily. But I just want to say this one thing, right? As kids, we grow up falling in love with this team. It was miserable for years and years and years, especially over the past 20 years. Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire, they brought some light to it. It was just a little spark, nothing crazy. We finally got something that is consistent. We finally got something that I don't feel embarrassed when I walk out on the street wearing my Knicks hat anymore. Now I see random New Yorkers getting into the Knicks, wanting to wear Knicks hats. I was at the Yankee game this past weekend, right? And I know it probably doesn't mean a lot to most, but to me, it goes to show that we are starting to win the pop culture war, right? You remember when the Cubs won the World Series? Before they won the World Series, they were the laughing stock. They were the laughing stock for everything. Anytime on a TV show, a movie, anytime you want to make a joke and have to involve baseball, you brought up the Chicago Cubs. You brought up that stupid ass fan that dropped the ball in 2003 against the Marlins. You brought that up, Bartman. And for the Knicks, for the past 20 years, that's what it's been like. But over the past 5 years, you've seen the shift. You see the change that people can start respecting us. And like I was saying Saturday when I was at the Yankee game, I have random people coming up to me because they see my Knicks stuff. Hey, you see the Knicks? Hey, you excited about the Knicks? Absolutely, I'm excited about the Knicks. I'm excited and I'm proud to be a Knicks fan, especially now in 2024. I didn't mean to do like a little speech or anything like that.
It was beautiful. I loved it.
I just wanted to share it.
Damn right. I see we got somebody backstage. Gabe, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready, my guy.
Let me get a thumbs up, Gabe.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, okay. Gabe ready to go. Gabe, what it do?
Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yo, first and foremost, I just want to say I appreciate y'all show. My girl actually put me onto y'all show.
Hey, I knew Gabe looked familiar as shit. What up, Gabe?
I just want to say I love y'all show. I love what y'all doing out here, man. Y'all representing for the city. Man, the other day picked up some pizza, had my Knicks gear, had my ish on, and the guys over here like, yo, enjoy the pizza, but let's go Knicks first and foremost.
Yes, sir.
The vibes is immaculate in this city, man, and like, yo, this team got everyone believing. Even my pops. Look, I'm of Haitian descent. Like, my pops and my mom's straight from Haiti. And they used to follow the Knicks back in the day in the 90s. Right. And my dad fell off, so then I had to pick up, where he fell off. And even nowadays, he's like, hey, how the Knicks doing? I'm like, man, we in the playoffs, man. We're at the finals, man.
Pay attention, Dad.
So look, man, I just wanted to stop by real quick. I ain't even going to talk too much, but I love what y'all doing. The Knicks, I'm calling Knicks in 5 or 6. I'm not too disrespectful with it. And B's MB, we understand that's a big dog over there. He got Maxey side by side with him, Batman and Robin, but we got a whole 9 ready for that. So y'all know what it is. Keep doing your thing.
Gabe, by the way, that's some jacket.
Yeah, I'm about to say that is a jacket.
Wow.
It's light work. I ain't blazing like you, Eddie. Mad Dog Eddie, just know. When you know Mad Dog Eddie, just know it was me. Mad Dog Eddie.
Gabe, man, we appreciate you, my guy.
Of course.
Actually, hold on before you go. One, happy anniversary. That was recently. Congrats on that. Right? Number 2, thank you for allowing your girl to come join us and do some Liberty Latte. So we appreciate it.
Allowing is crazy.
Whoa, hold on. I mean, allowing us to steal you away from him, not you. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I had to recover quick. Gabe, get out before I get in trouble.
Gotcha.
Allowing us lunatics to be able to have Teresa on the show.
Yo, Teresa almost cut me. I got scared.
I can't wait. Yeah, you probably gonna get stabbed in the first meeting we had with Teresa. I'm just letting you know. IRL.
Yeah, blood. You saw what I did? Like a pro. What you? Yeah. And then we got one more caller before we wrap the show. He backstage?
I don't. Jay Boogie, you backstage, Jay Boogie?
Oh, the closer.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not lose one of our hosts of the Liberty Latte. She's still rocking.
Jay Boogie right there. Jay Boogie, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock out, Unc. All right, let's see. I'm bringing him up right now. Jay Boogie, the closer. Bugs, what it do? Salute.
Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. You know I'm out here swerving and curving. I had to pull the truck over. You know what I'm saying? Hey, get out the way. Hey, man. Morning brew, man. I'm on my mother's. My bad. I apologize. But yeah, man. Hey, shout out to the anniversary to that couple right there. Blessings, health, and happiness. It's so beautiful to know when somebody loves you and you know what I'm saying, and you love somebody else's back. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a coincidence. Shout out to my wife. You know what I'm saying? Today is our 5-year anniversary. I've been married 5 years. Yeah, we celebrated 3 days after my birthday, and you know, Kobe is one of my favorite players, and I wanted to make sure I remember it, so I used the 24 number so I wouldn't forget. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Somebody loving me for 5 years, man. I appreciate that, man. So yeah, man, it's basketball time. We on the way to Philly. We on our way to Philly, and we know it's a bunch of non-believers and you know, haters are still out there. We don't care nothing about you. We're going to continue on doing us. We're going to continue on, you know what I'm saying, believing and have faith. We're going to continue on working hard, man. The game the other night, man, that I know I cried on the show the other day. Man, I cried after that game. You know why? Certain scenario situation that normally happens to us. You remember what happened with the Pacers situation? It happens to us. But for us to be on the other side and it happening to somebody else, and in our building, it's something special going on this year. It's a lot of specials going on. A lot of prayers are being answered. And a lot of people have been praying, and the prayers have been answered. You know, you ask for blessings and everything in life, but to receive your blessing that much faster, you got to be in position to receive them. If you're not in position to receive your blessings, they take that much longer to come along. Feel what I'm talking about? They take that much longer to come on. So make sure you're in position to receive your blessings. And God knows our squad, man, we in position to receive more blessings. It's coming, y'all. It's on the way. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I'm with this 24 thing going on, man. I'm telling you, they better prepare. We get ready to get out of this Philly series and get ready. I don't care which one it is in Milwaukee or the Pacers. They don't know. They going back and forth, cameo style. They don't know who want to win the series, but I know who's going to be waiting for them, and we're going to be ready to roar and uplift and everything. Shout out to T.O. to NY, getting that bus together. You know what I'm saying? We on the way. We on the bus, just like, you know what I'm saying, the Spike Lee movie. We coming Philly, and we ain't coming for no Philly steaks neither. We're coming to go ahead and leave that building 1-1. So when we get back to the crib, it's Reynolds. It's a wrap. It's over. I'm the closer.
Jay Boogie, the closer.
I feel like, you know, I feel like right after that, Jay Boogie, first of all, everybody in the chat say, get your ass and pay attention to the road. But they also said happy anniversary. But Jay Boogie, also shout out, bro, because
we facing a lot of doubters.
So Ebony, First Lady of KOT, what you saying?
It's us against the world.
New York City, where you at?
We outside.
My Knicks fans, where you at? I'm looking down cause we on top. They looking up, see we on top.
No video.
On game nights, all I see is Nick traffic. For the playoffs, I'm wearing a June jacket. The best fans anywhere, we stay rocking. This my 4-point play, my Larry Johnson. The true definition of getting snubbed is when the 2 seed ain't getting no love. We know what cats from college known as teammates. Now the lead podcast and we some roommates. It's for the league, whoever wanna collide. That new commercial that told you I'm the vibe. Shout out to Mr. Rose, the plan working from the ESPN with these bars. I'm Kendrick Perkins. Every game, the squad, we just go hard. Coach Tibb, Challenger, New Dodge. 5 boroughs of breath, the Nick plan. From the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Staten, to Brooklyn.
New York City, where you at?
We outside.
My Knicks fans, where you at? I'm looking down cause we on top. They looking up, see we on top.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
No Diddy. That's right. We outside. If you don't know we outside, then guess what? You inside with your shades down, eye blinding. You can't see us. We outside. I don't know where y'all at. We outside, man. Everybody outside.
We
Morning
love
Brew
you.
outside. The podcast outside. Whole foundation of Nick. Everybody is outside, man. New York City, where you at? You know where we at. We outside, man. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's, man.
Love you, Jay Bug.
Come on now. Come on. That's
Love
how you
you,
close. That's how you close.
I love it. Folks, we are sitting at 4,162 subscribers on our way to 5K. We got over 300 people in the building rocking with us right now. Whether you're watching us on Facebook, whether you're watching us on Instagram, or the Elon Musk machine. It doesn't matter where you watch us, but if you guys can, click the link in the bio, jump on over to YouTube and help us get to 5K. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel. We've been doing it for more than a year. You've been rocking with us for more than a year. We appreciate everybody in the building. Eddie, I appreciate you, my guy, with your dope takes. Everybody that contributes to this channel. This is just an exciting moment for all of us because we are all some diehard Knicks fans, and this is a great moment, not just for us, but for you folks that are in the chat that support us and been rocking with us since day one. A1 since day one, as they say.
Let's go, Knicks. We'll do a quick little roundup. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Yankees pregame report. Hector and Damian. 7 p.m. Rangers Ice Brew with Zook and Brendan. Then we got 9 p.m. We've got the Mets Evening Brew with Evan Roberts going on there with Eddie, Ant, and Al. And then 10 o'clock, we've got, or is it 10:30, right? 10:30?
10:30.
The Knicks Nightcap with Phil, Bully, Eru, Apollo, and they got Danny B from the Knicks Wall rocking with them tonight. Content for content and a lot of content. If you can, that little barcode right up there, smack it. Buy your boys a coffee. Help support the broke ass channel that we got going here. Eddie, I love you. Hector, I love you.
I love you too,
Chat,
buddy.
we love you. Let's go Knicks. Deuces!